For most people, the holiday season is meant to be bright and happy, surrounded by family. But for many who struggle with an eating disorder, it's often the worst time of the year.
KVUE's Dominique Newland is live in studio, joined again with a dietitian. Good morning, Dominique.
Yeah, good morning to you both. Adrian, we are joined with Adrian from Nourish. Glad to have you on again. And like we talked about in the last hour, people with an eating disorder, we talked about first people with an eating disorder and how they can navigate the holidays. But secondly, if you know someone, support systems and families and friends, if they know someone with an eating disorder, kind of how they can help and some tips with that. So let's first be, if you do know someone with an eating disorder, how to just make them comfortable around food, which I know can be tough.
Yeah, I think one of the things that a lot of our dietitians at Nourish do, we like to have a no diet, no body image talk around the table. So that's one of the biggest things we really educate on is let's make mealtime fun, exciting, have other conversations than about diets or bodies.
Yeah, I love that. Are there any warning signs? Maybe that person hasn't said that they have an eating disorder and you're sitting at the table with them. Are there signs where you can kind of tell something may not be right?
It varies from person to person, but a lot of times when somebody gets really quiet and honed in on what's going on, or there might be a reaction to something. So it kind of varies on both sides. It can be going inward, it can be going outward.
Okay. With the holidays, conversation at the table, everyone's talking, catching up, but are there some things maybe to do and don't say?
Yeah, I think one of the obvious ones is let's not comment about anybody's body. And even if it comes from a place of goodness of, oh, you look so healthy, that probably is the worst comment ever. Yeah. So commenting or having conversations that are neutral, how's school going, how's work, something that is very neutral, not related to body, not related to the eating disorder is actually really appropriate.
I love that. And also having a disorder, this can affect all age groups, correct? It's not just honed in on one age.
Correct. We see a lot of our patients at Nourish are anywhere from 5 years old all the way up to 65 years old that are struggling with eating disorders and mental health.
Wow, so wide range there. And lastly, resources people can go to, especially if the holidays are a little bit tough for them, they want someone to reach out to. Where can they go for that?
Yeah, the National Eating Disorder Association actually does have a hotline, along with we are actually having a lot of resources here at Nourish. So use nourish.com, but both of those places will have wonderful resources for help and support.
All right, don't be too afraid to reach out.
Exactly.
All right, Adrian, thank you so much for being here and talking with us on Daybreak this morning. And also, we will have this full interview on KVUE.com in case you did miss anything that we just talked about. Also, we'll have a link to Nourish where you can find providers and resources for eating disorder treatment and nutrition therapy. Back to you guys.
There are a lot of good tips and pointers there, especially with the conversation that you have at the table.
Lots of conversations.
Yeah. Well, studies show that eating disorders are on the rise, especially among teens and young adults.